Okay. Hi, welcome to this session. For this session, we have Gonzalez from Small Business Development Center with the topic business.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is kind of a long presentation, but we're going to try to squeeze it in the time frame. But having said that, the importance to me is that you get what you need out of this. So it doesn't matter that I've been in this presentation or not. It matters is that you get something out of it. So at any time that you have a question, please stop me, no matter what's on the screen, if it's the same topic or anything. I want this to be something useful for you. So please let me know. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm Arturo Gonzalez. I work for RGV Small Business Development Center. And for those of you that don't know, we are funded by the Small Business Administration in the state of Texas. We are hosted through the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. We've been in the Valley since 1986. And we provide professional business advisement training and market research. We're also part of the Texas Southwest SBDC network, which is comprised of over 1,000 centers nationwide. So what is our mission? Our mission is to foster economic growth one small business at a time. And we do this through our region, which is Karen and Iowa Star and Lucy. Our mission is to be the premier small business resources that is available to you in the Bureau. So we want to be the best at what we do. And we are able to achieve this through our core values of integrity, excellence, service, and innovation. So what do we do? Most of the time, we are meeting with our clients one-to-one. So how it works is our services are free and confidential to you. There's no time limit. The project is the project. I've spent years on projects, and I've also spent a couple of days on projects. So it all depends on where you are in your phase. And we're here not to help you start a business, but to help you start and grow. I have relationships that have lasted over 16 years with our clients, and have helped them start multiple businesses. That is what do we want. We want to help you start and then continue to assist you with whatever you need. I get calls on a daily basis from past clients that just need advice on one topic or another, or looking for a resource, or they just have a question of whatever, and I usually will be able to assist them. So most of the time, our meetings are one-to-one, but we can also be clients via Zoom. We can also be clients over the phone, and we have some specialty areas. So I am one of two international trade specialists, but we also can assist clients with emergency preparedness or business continuity, with government and corporate contracting, human resources. We have an actual HR professional that can assist you with human resources. I am the designated advisor in cybersecurity, so I'm really getting my feet wet with that, but it's a very important topic with our clients. We can also help you with digital media or social media marketing. We've helped a few clients with innovation and food and commercialization products. Some of them are actually here today. So those are the services that are available. We also have some specialty topics that we present on, like human resources, like today. This particular topic will start a business. You name it. We try to bring, whenever possible, we try to bring that professional within the community to present on that topic. So if it's a legal matter, we will bring an attorney. If it's has something to do with accounting or bookkeeping, we will bring an accountant. And so those are also available. Those training sessions are also available to you at no cost. 80% of them are via Zoom, and 20% are in person like today. So those are available to you as well. So this is our coverage area. Our Southwest SBDC network covers the blue area, and of course we cover the red area. Our main office is on Freddy Gonzalez Drive in Edinburgh, but I actually have an office about 20 steps from us here. But we also have offices throughout the valley with our EDCs and chambers of commerce, This morning, I was at the Brussels Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow, I'll be at the RGV EDC seeing clients out there. The following day, I'll be at the San Benito EDC clients that we have a good relationship with our EDC in South Hydronic. We're just spicy clients out there as well. But as any of you are interested in meeting with me, this is the number. It'll be at the end of the session, but I don't think we'll make it the end of the session. So if any of you want to meet with me, 665-7530. And again, we are throughout the valley. So we will meet you wherever you would need us to meet you. But, with today's technology, we can also do Zoom meeting. Be okay as well. So we get funded by the Small Business Administration of the state, correct? So this money comes with straight tax. That means that they give us this money, and we have to provide economic impact for our county. So what does that mean? Is that we have to document who we meet, if they started, how many jobs they created, how much money they invested, if we assisted them in getting the loan or a grant. We go through that. So last fiscal year, to just give you an idea, we were able to see 113 clients. We put together about 186 trainings throughout the valley with over 1,500 attendees. We helped 44 businesses start, 32 expand. That equaled the job creation, job retention of the 511 jobs in our Fort County area. And that was a capital investment in our 4 counties of over $7.7 million. So this is why we exist. These numbers come from our clients. We don't put them ourselves or put them up ourselves or take them up ourselves. Our clients actually fill us with paperwork and this information that they provide. Having said that, there's a lot of clients that we miss and they start off and we kind of lose track of. We got to do a better job. So this number is actually higher than this. But these are the ones that we were able to do. So the Small Business Administration will see this and say, okay, the SBDC did good economic impact into our Fort County area, and they will get additional. This is how we're supposed to. So I mentioned the Small Business Administration. Veronica Chavez is here. If you get a chance to meet her, go ahead and do so. She's a great resource to the small. Is the next session? Okay. And this is, yeah. Oh, it's in here, right? Okay. So great. She's going to come in. I'm going to tag her, and she's going to come in and do the next presentation. She's a great resource. I know we have other breakout sessions. If you can make it 2 of her presentation, let's get her card or her contact information. She's a great resource. She runs other programs for veterans and women-owned businesses. So just be aware of that. They're AG as well. So finally, we're going to talk about Business Boost, right? And so the first thing you want to do when you're talking about starting a business is your market mix boost. That is kind of your first step. We're going to also talk about the importance of developing the business plan and then creating the pitch. If we don't get to the pitch, there's somebody else providing a presentation of the pitch today, right? If I'm not mistaken. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to close this door. Little boy. So I guess I'm going to ask everybody, why should you do market research? What is the benefit of doing market research?
So like your audience or like who you're selling to?
That's one part.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing. What else? So you know your target market, right? To figure out your target market. What else?
Your competition.
Your competition. Okay. What else?
The kind of services or products they're offering, if they're the same or much better, but you want.
So how you're going to differentiate yourself from the competition?
What the market needs.
Exactly. Market demand. Perfect. Yeah. All great answers. I don't have any crisis. You can all get free drinks on me, right?
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, these are. That's what we That's what you think. Don't have you done.
No, I would. No, okay. I'm just checking. People ask me. I'm asking pro for. So developing that will allow you to figure out if this is feasible. So I have clients come in and they have this business idea, or it's not something out of the blue. They just want to start a pizza place or burger shop, or you know, a a child daycare center or an adult daycare center. And we go through the same thing. We go through the motions. We go through this first because we figure out who are the main competitors. What is the competitive landscape? Am I going to be able to compete? Am I going to be able to gain market share? And then who am I selling this product to? And how am I going to be able to compete? And some of my clients want to compete in price. I say, well, I'll be the lowest, the lowest price in town. You don't want to do that because if Walmart decides to get into the business that you do, you're going to be in trouble because what is Walmart know? Well, competitive pricing, right? So you're not going to be able to have the same buy. So it's very important that we go through that, right? It also helps you avoid some mistakes, make better decisions. It saves you time, and mistakes cost what? They cost money. So when you're a startup, you can make all those missteps, and that's going to cost you money. So doing that research ahead of time will allow you to figure things out. Now, once you figure out that everything is there, then we go into the financing. How much money do I need? But if the market research does not look good, you want to find something else, right? Or figure out how you're going to be able to. Now you can do a lot of great market research online. In fact, some of the databases that the university pays thousands of dollars for, if you do the right market research, you will find those market reports online. It's just they're going to be missing a few little things there, but those reports are available online. You can definitely use us. We have an information clearinghouse out of San Antonio that service our 1,000 centers nationwide, and all they do is market research. That's all they do, all day, every day. Now, their lead time is anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, but how much money do you think they're going to charge you for that?
Well, I guess very low compared to
Nothing.
nothing.
Extremely low. Because if you register with me, which costs nothing, but 5 minutes, it really takes you less than 5 minutes. You go online, you register. Some of you are clients, right? You register to be a client. How much time did it take? 5 minutes. And it's just usually it's about 3 minutes. So once you do that, then you have access to a lot of things that would not be available to you. And so one of those things will be our information clearinghouse, which is the small business development network. And they can do market research, they can do psychographic information, they can do traffic counts. So we're going to go over some things. The other way you can get some information on your competition is you can visit them. You probably don't want to sit in your car with dark glasses and take notes, or even worse, in the corner with a trench coat, right? Or binoculars. You don't want to do that. You could do it in a much more open way, depending on the business. But if it's like a coffee shop, you can definitely go into the coffee shop and you can order. I've had clients go to those places of businesses. They buy something and then they're just taking notes. They look at how many people come in, and then they're taking notes of what they're buying. They sit close enough that they can kind of have an assumption of how much money they're spending. And you can get a lot of great information by just visiting your competition, right? Chambers of Commerce and EDCs and also associations are great sources of information. You also want to know if you're in this business, what is being said about free. That's going to be very important. We're going to talk about demographic information, psychographic information, and surveys and feedback. But everybody understands what demographic information is, right? It's just population counts, gender makeup, media makeup, right? Then we have psychographic information. How many of you know what psychographic information is? Anyone? Tell me. What do you think? You're probably to be with.
So I mean, more so like extracurricular activities in the area and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
There's a solar park. There's a water park. So
Yeah. So you create a profile on your customer. So I think it's Logitech. Logitech makes this. And I can bet you that they know out of each buyer how many of them are women, men. They know that information. How many more of them own an iPhone over an Android phone? It can be down to like what car they drive, what things they like to do and hobby. So when back in the day when you would buy a piece of electronic, they would give you like a card where you register the product, right? To make sure the warranty. And I don't know if any of you remember that they ask information on your hobbies and what books you wrote and what other Apple products you own. If they're creating a profile. And why is that important to look at the psychograph? Why is that important to your business?
Then you could market and
Exactly right. I don't have a price, but you can have an extra bottle of water. Yes, exactly right. Right on the right. Because if you know that half of the individuals that buy this particular product also play golf, well, there's an opportunity for you to sponsor a golf tournament or a bowling tournament. Well, which one are you going to sponsor? Probably the golf tournament, because that's where your potential clients are. And any questions so far?
yes. So how did you find out that?
Our SBDC net can get you that psychographic, so you can pull that for you.
I have a question. Some of this information seems more targeted at the consumer information. What about business to business information? You also do that too?
Yeah, we can also get that. Absolutely. Like what if you could share, you'll not want to share, but if you could share what industry.
Telecommunications. We do mass services. Okay. And we just got into the soft landing for. Okay. So you're next in my list of things to do. Okay. And I was wondering what type of information helps gather, like retail businesses that might need our services, and how are they solving that nowadays through the ISPs or the internet service providers and stuff. That sort of information.
We could definitely do that. We help you. They're gonna know exactly where to go, so we're gonna go ahead and talk to them first. But definitely, I'm sure you reached out and are very familiar with associations. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, you have associations on any given industry that exists at an international level. Then you have those at a national level. Then you have those at state level and sometimes regional. If any of you are startups and you have not had a chance to go to one of those conferences, it is going to be money well spent. Go to the very least at a state level, find that association, and go to their earliest conference. You're going to get a lot of great information, a lot of breakout sessions on best practices, and just great information that you will be able to use. Thank you. No problem. Thank you. So this information is just basic demographic. Right? Pretty simple. We don't really have to go all over it. That is available through this. Not a big deal. There's a online software. It's a web-based software. It's where you can figure out like the race makeup in the valley if you would want to. And of course, we see a lot of yellow because primarily we're Hispanics. But for some businesses, this is important. For other businesses, not that. But that information is available to this website. Now, just if you are going to go to this website, I know the presentation is going to be available to you PDF. Just be aware that you need the right plugins. I think you need a special flash from Adobe to be able to work. So sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but definitely it's available. I'm sorry. There you go, Ben. All right. So this is an example of psychographic information. So this information was put together from our SBDC net, and we're just trying to figure out the lifestyles in the valley and Can everybody see this?
Que si das permiso de que las noticias tomen un video o stropee directo. ¿Se puede o no puede?
Pues, ¿de cuánto va a ser el cheque?
No sé.
Yo hago hasta por autógrafos. ¿Te dejan? Sí, está bien. I'm sorry. Was that out loud? No. Sorry, fair. So this is just a makeup of what people like to do as a sport. And what is the number one thing that people do as a sport? That's right, RGV. Running. Why do you think that is? Because the cost to entry is very low. Right? What do you need to run? Not even that. I have some friends that run marathons without shoes. Yeah. They got into that and they're like way into that. So you don't really need anything. So the barrier to entry is. So this is just an example of some of the resources that are available to you. How many of you are aware of your NAICS? Your NAICS code is basically your industrial classification. Why do you think knowing that code is important? Yes.
It identifies the classification of your business.
Yes.
It tells you, where you fall in, especially when you're going to be applying for any type of program.
Yes. And that is important because when you conduct market research, so the first thing that my SBDC network asks me is, what is their NAICS code? What is your client's NAICS code? And it's very different. To give you an example, a restaurant's NAICS code is 722510, but that's for an over restaurant full service. Now you have a full service restaurant that ends in 13, same numbers, but in 13 instead of 10. And that is a full service restaurant that serves alcohol. So when you're conducting this market research, if you don't have the right NAICS code, then the research is going to be worthless. You're going to get like pages and pages of great research, but it's just not the industry. So the easiest way for you to find this number is actually to Google NAICS code and census at the same time. The census website is actually better than this website because it has better descriptions. You can kind of figure out, oh, I kind of fall under here, but I don't. The reason for that is that a cake shop, an ice cream shop, a yogurt shop, and a pie shop, they fall under the same NAICS. And I can argue that, okay, they're all kind of dessert items, but they're not the same thing. So we worked with Ibis World, and Ibis World was progressive enough to create a subcategory for that industrial code. When we had that surgence of yogurt shops like Red Mango and TCPY and all of those places, U-Mix, all of those franchises kind of started popping up, right? Does anybody know who Red Mango? Yes.
We had a Moyo frozen yogurt.
Oh.
Moyo.
Oh. And is that the music?
Yes.
I remember. So you were familiar with that search. So when we were looking at market research, that information was very diluted, and it was very hard to decipher that report. It's just so Ibis World saw an opportunity to just create a subcategory, and they added a few letters after that industrial code, and they created that report, and it was very successful in a lot of my clients. But knowing your classification is very important because you're going to be comparing yourself to the industry under the right benchmarks, under the right statistics. If not, you're going to be lost and you're going to make a lot of missteps. And that's not going to be good. But if any of you need help with this, I can assist you. But it's pretty simple to follow. If you need help, I can definitely assist you. So, it allows you to look at industry trends, any innovation, what does the competitive landscape look like, what are some of the popular products and services that are coming up, what are some geographic trends that are happening. And this is kind of a breakdown of the IBIS World report that we get through our SBDC net. So what I like about this is that it has a section where it gives you a summary, and it's called Industry at a Glance. So it's a 30 to 40, mostly 40-page report. And you're like saying, oh my God, an industrial report that's 40 pages. Well, for whatever reason, IBIS World has done this right, and it's very digestible. You can really, really go through this very easily. And the good thing is if you're new to this industry and you don't know some of the terms, it has a glossary at the end that explains those terms very, very easily. But really the biggest takeaway is that it has a one-pager, which is the industry at a glance. And then it has a bit of a summary. It's not here, but it's about a 4-5 paragraph summary that really tells you if you're.
Sorry, can you repeat who makes these reports?
IBIS World.
IBIS World?
Yes. So if you would go to IBIS World, they would charge you anywhere from $800 to about $2,000 for the report. If you go through us, we already pay them thousands of dollars a year, and you'll get it for free. I had a client right when IBIS World started, he had paid, and I'm not kidding, almost $5,000 for an industry report. It was a long time ago. IBIS World just came in, and I was able to create the newest version. IBIS World will depending on the industry, they will update that industry report anywhere from 12 to 6 months. And I gave them a free report that was up to date. It was 3 months old. His was 2 years old, and he had just paid almost $5,000.
And this is per NAICS code.
Exactly. Yes. Now, there are some instances where we get the wrong NAICS scope. So what happens then? Well, we submit another report with SBDC net, and then we've got to wait on it, right? Most of the time we get it right. There's been a few times where we don't. So it tells you revenues, how, the employment landscape, the life cycle of the business or the life stage, what types of products and services, who are the major competitors, what does the competitive landscape look like? But this is also very good to see. It tells you where this industry is at, or this type of business. So there are some businesses that are starting. There are some businesses that are growing. There are other businesses that are maturing. Others that are on decline, and then those that are dead. So that information is very, very good also to have, because you might be getting into a business that is maybe losing the trend or is kind of dying. If I get a report from them with the industrial code of DVD rental place, where in that life cycle will be a DVD rental? It will be dead and buried, right? Yeah. Exactly. Went to purgatory, get back. Purgatory. Yeah, it's dead. We can also do what is called a gap analysis. And the best way I can describe a gap analysis is the difference of what is purchased locally and what is purchased locally but outside the valley. So what that means is, let's say we run a report and Brownsville residents spend over $14 million in furniture. But they only bought locally at Flags, Nettlestein, Singles House Furniture. They only bought half of it, $7 million. The rest they bought at Amazon, Wayfair, Trim and Tuck, and whatever they're called, right? And so that tells you, if you want to start a furniture store, that there might be an opportunity to set one up, right? But this is only going to be a piece of the puzzle. We need to know, or what I would want to know is, what has happened the last 5 years. Because if we were buying $8 billion last year, and the year before it was $10 million locally, and then it was $14 million locally, and then it was 20, well, then I might be, getting into sinking ship, right? So this is only going to be a piece of the puzzle, but it's information that we can put together. Now, this information really is provided mostly for our cities, municipalities, and EDCs. They're the ones that really see this information, or that are small business. So monitoring your competition is very important. We already explained why, so we're going to go ahead and skip. You want to figure out who competes directly or indirectly to you. Now, if I am going to start a burger place, who are my direct competitors? McDonald's, Burger King, Whataburger. Who are my indirect competitors?
Fast food.
Fried chicken, pizza, Stripes, people's refrigerators, right? They decide to pack a lunch that day, take some Lunchables. Do people still eat Lunchables? So they're starving. You also figure out weaknesses and strengths. So why is it important to analyze your competitors' strengths, but more importantly, their weaknesses?
Capitalize on their weaknesses.
Yeah, like give you an example of one weakness that you might capitalize.
Maybe. Well, I mean, I guess the way it works with a burger place would say the other place doesn't have like a value view or something. So
Okay,
creating a value view, but has to do with the same product or something like that.
exactly. Or lack of customer service, that would be a weakness, right?
Yeah, I'm doing delivery. You do it.
Ace. They're not open 24 hours a day. Fuel. Something. There's a lot of assessments. You also can figure out how much they're selling. Kind of. We're gonna go through that. How many employees they have, and then how are they serving your target market better than you? So all of that analysis is like a SWOT analysis, and that allows you to figure out how you're going to compete. You can also look at their size, their capacity, their pricing, their sales promotions, their customer sentiment, or how people feel about their visibility and their presence within the market. You also want to know what your traffic counts and how your competition's traffic counts look like. And then you can get that information that's available to you from I can assist you. The square footage, how big are they compared to you? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? We look at that. This is less important, but for some businesses, it's important to look at the assets that your competitors have and how it's done. You also want to look at their digital presence. So back in the day, a long time ago, I learned JavaScript. Anybody know what JavaScript is? Yes. No.
What?
Anyway, it's a programming language that allowed me to build websites, right? Shortly after I took all of the courses that I needed to take and learn JavaScript, Microsoft decided to come out with front page wiki, which is easy as using a Word document. So anyway, so this is how the websites that I was helping my clients put together, this is how they look like. How many websites do we see that look like this? What does a website look like?
More attractive.
Like in what sense?
Graphics, very key.
So more Zen, right?
Okay,
So
great.
clean, more white than anything. A lot of space. This is like super congested, right? Super congested. So they look a lot more Zen, a lot more user friendly, a lot more creative. So if your competitor's website looks like this, you can definitely compete, right? Pretty much. Arturo Gonzalez put this website together and they never changed, right? Because Arturo Gonzalez did it for free and they figured out. The other thing you could do, and it doesn't work with all browsers, but you can right click on a website and it'll give you the source code, right? And why is this important to know, like the keywords or the meta tags, whatever you want?
For the optimization of the search results. Like in the pictures, you can write a huge description.
Exactly. So it's very important because this is how the web crawlers will find the information. Google, or whatever browser you use will find. And that's why you'll buy like, oh, Starbucks, of course, and then Starbucks coffee company. Okay, well, it's different versions of the same thing because people are searching in different ways. In fact, when I used to put this at meta tags, I would misspell some words that were commonly misspelled as we were searching. So that gave us a little bit of edge. It was more important back then.
I have a question. Is there limits to these like meta tags that you can ever enter across? Like when you hang it, like did it stop you at a certain point?
That's a good question. A client of mine in one of my presentations said that Google had placed some limits at one point because people were just getting nuts with adding information, and they were doing it in a. Can I say this in a? I guess in a way that was misleading. That's the best way to put it. They were taking advantage of the system, and I believe that Google has some limits. I just don't know what they are. But my client, they did said that they were, but I don't know if they're still. Back in the day, the Better Business Bureau, you had to call them and request information of your competition, and they would mail it to you. They would print it out and mail it to you. It would take about 2 weeks for you to get information. Now, it's much more user-friendly. You can get information from the Better Business Bureau. But this is the best way to get information that your competition was being said, right? Yelp is one of them. Google is another. Google reviews, like what is being said about your competition, what is being said about you. It's very important. You can also set alerts. Google Alerts is something that I use. You can tag that to changes on your competitor's website, to changes on their sales, to a keyword that is important to your industry, and it'll send you alerts when this happens. And of course, Google is running this one. But there's other options. You can get information from their annual report as well, for their promotions. I do a lot of spying for my clients, competitors, just using social media. That's kind of the best way. Because if they haven't updated their website, something's wrong. If they're not running promotions, something's wrong. So sometimes, hopefully, it's just that they're undervaluing whoever was doing that for them. Definitely, it's SBDC can also do what is called the 1 mile, 2 mile, and 5 mile ring analysis. Now, I had a client that was going to open up a bakery in Harlingen. This is where he was going to set it up, and then we did a ring analysis to see where their competitors were at. So where's the biggest amount of bakeries in all? The upper left-hand corner. So why don't I set up a bakery right there?
Nowhere eats around there.
Yeah, because it's a cornfield. Pisalitas, blossoms, and tlacuaches. Same thing. Also, tlacuaches. It's just one speaks Spanish, the other. That's actually true. So why is this information important for my client? What is it telling me?
Well, it tells you where your competition is.
Your competition is, because that's obvious. Because we have.
And for where you can start and establish your business.
And then what else does it tell? So it tells me sales numbers, and it tells me how many employees. So if I'm a startup and I say, hey, Mr. Business Advisor, I'm going to start up a bakery, and I think I'm going to have 2 employees, and I'm going to be making about $1 million the first year. Well, nobody's making $1 million in a week, right? Or is somebody making $1 million? Well, Alejandro's pizzeria is making $8.4 million with 10 employees, so he's kicking it. But he started with the Raj and the ICS group. Or he started as a baker, and now it's up to him. So he should be on. But this allows you to benchmark. So if you say, well, I'm going to make $1 million, and everybody on average is not even close to that. 500,000, they have an employee. So as a startup, this is a well-established cake shop. How am I going to compete? There's no way. So then that allows you to kind of set your feet on the ground and rethink your assumptions, right? So this is a very good and useful tool, also available to you through RSPC. You can get online to text out and just get your traffic count for your particular location. I understand that not all businesses are location dependent, but if that's important to you, you get that information. Now, you're going to get most of the throughways or the avenues within your community. You're not going to get the sites. It's not going to work like that. We only count the main avenues, but that information is and free. That's been up a learning curve to do questions. It's pretty self-explanatory. We also have information on expenditures. So this was a client that wanted to set up a liquor store in the Upper Valley. So he wanted to know consumption of alcohol in the Upper Valley, and he wanted to know the difference of how that was consumed at home or away from home. So this information was very good for him to kind of get the ball rolling. Now, again, based on this information, should you set up a liquor store? Or again, it's just the piece of the puzzle, right? We don't have all the pieces, but this is one piece that we could use to, hopefully make it, right? So some of the resources that are available to you, naics.com, I told you that the census website is better. So if you Google census and NAICS goes, it's a much more user-friendly site. But these are some other resources that you can take advantage of. If any of you are doing imports or exports, export.gov is a great resource. Trade.gov is another great resource. Census information for those of you that are looking for your Schedule B for that product that you're exporting or importing. That information is on the census website. If you're looking for trade compliance information, etc. So now developing the business plan, just getting to section 2. How many of you have developed a business plan? Yes. Now, when I say business plan, is it done to turn into a bank, or is it business planning, which is more strategy? How many of you turn it into either a fund or a bank? Or even an investor, right? So what? So that's good. There's 2 different types of business. There's business planning, where you are looking at the important things and components of starting a business. And then there's a formal business plan that you need to turn in to either a bank, an investor, a grant program, or for a digital burn. And that's a more formal. So as a business owner, you have to wear many hats. Right? HR is what? What is HR? It's your human capital, right? It's very important that you take care of it, right? How do you take care of your employees? Yeah, definitely benefits. What else?
Pay on time.
Pay on time. What else?
Fair salary. Fair salary.
Fair salaries. Empowerment. That's a good one. Why empowerment?
Because if they know, they maybe need to probably grow your business.
We have to understand that our employees are the front lines, and sometimes they know more than we do in certain areas, and we need to let them do their job, right? So empowerment is very, and then empowerment also leads to lack of boredom, because they don't have to ask for everything. Right? So you hire employees, you train them, you treat them well, you reward them, you empower them. What if they're not doing a good job? We fire them? Should we fire them?
Well, there's feedback, training.
Yes, it's better to retrain them and get them back on the ball. Now, if they're not doing the good job again, do we fire them? We figure out what they are good at. Because if you set up Arturo Gonzalez on the customer service desk, and I am not a people person, I hate you. Right? No. That's not true. Why would you set me up there? You figure out that that's not my job. That okay, there was a shouting match with the customers
To help you grow.
exactly. Have me do something else that I'm good at. So yes, it's always it's better to retrain and figure out and recalibrate. Right now he or she's gonna do this because it costs more money to hire somebody than retrain. Definitely. So you want to as much as possible. Right now, Arturo Gonzalez it sucks at customer service, but this is the third time that he shows up drunk. Then what are we gonna do with Arturo Gonzalez?
Fire.
We're gonna fire because you give him 3 chances, and you document each of those chances. And if Arturo doesn't want to sign that form, then you have a witness sign for him, saying that hey, it's obvious that he's drunk. So this is the guy. Thank you for coming. And that needs to be in your policies and procedures. Anyway, I'm getting too deep in the weeds. I'm sorry, but it's very important. Now, you also have to take care of your financial resources. What are your financial resources? Give me like you audit your financial resources. Yes, that definitely can be audited. But what are some of the financial resources that we need to take care of as a business owner? Accounting, so the money in the business. Now, also the loans that are coming in, my investment as an owner, the money that's going out, payroll, operations, taxes, anything that has to do with money, I need to make sure that I know where money's going, where money's coming in, and how that is being used, and if we even need to borrow more money. Right? Whenever a client comes in and they're an existing business and they're looking for money, we first figure out their operations and figure out cash and figure out if they can sell some assets that are not producing or if they can cut some expenses and figure that out. If they can, then they can. But that should be kind of your first step. Physical resources. What are some physical resources that I have to take care of as a business owner? Equipment, right? Tools that they're properly maintained, that they're properly kept up.
Facility.
The facility, the vehicles, equipment, computers, all of those things have to be taken care of. And then information. What are we talking about? Yep, our operating systems, our source of documents, right?
Communicate language to or
Okay, so they can take care of clients' information that could be sensitive, but also the owner's information and financial statements. So it's not only your information, right? But it's your financial information, your clients' sensitive data. Oh, yeah, exactly. So those are things that we also need to figure out. So we have to wear those many hats. So a business plan should be put together when you're starting a business. It can also be put together when that business is not doing very well or you don't know what the future holds, so you want to kind of re-strategize. If you develop the business plan, it should not sit on a shelf collecting dust. You should be revisiting it on a monthly or quarterly basis at the very least. Or if you already have established a company, then at least every 6 months to a year. And it's a living, breathing document. You need to make sure that you reference it. And if there's something you need to change to keep on course, then that you do keep on course. Right? And some of my clients definitely put a business plan together because they need it, whether they're a startup or so you determine on where you want to go. You determine if you need to realign your business, if your business is meeting expectations. You review it to see any gaps of what you actually expected and what actually the results were. And you want to update so you can move forward. If not, there's no sense in putting one together. So when I help clients put a business plan together for the sake of getting financing, I know that the ultimate outcome is to get the loan or grant. But I put it together in such a way that it becomes a tool for them. Like, try to develop it as close to reality as possible. If it's an existing business, then we look at their financial statements for the past 12 months and figure out where they are and make sure that we're following the same schematics. Why? Because the lender is going to look at their past tax returns and their past income statements, and we want to make sure that everything's aligned with that. Makes sense. So a business plan is something that allows for better management. It also expresses the amount of capital that is needed for the business if you need financing. Usually it's presented to a potential investor, a potential partner. Most of the time it's to invest. And it should cover who you are, what you are selling, what are your products and services, how will you get them to your customers, who are your customers, how will you reach them, how much money do you think you will make, and how much profit do you think you will make as well. I'm sorry. All right. And then it helps you make better decisions. And make better decisions save you what? Time. And time is money. Exactly. So do these of the one. And yes, it's definitely worth your investment. Some of my clients do not need a loan, do not need a grant, and they don't want to put a business plan together. I said, well, at the very least, let's work on financial projections. At the very least. And for a startup, that is a huge eye opener. And we got a lot of things done with that, and we were able to put things together in a much better way. And we usually do anywhere. So for my startup clients that are looking for a grant or loan less than $70,000, we'll do an executive summary and a year's projections. Anything over that is a 3-year projection and a full business plan. And for my clients that are seeking investors visas, it's a 5-year projection. And that changes every time I talk to their immigration lawyer. So, and yes, it's an essential part of a loan application. But there are some institutes here, like there are some institutes like SCORE, and SCORE gives you free advice. It's
Just stop. Did you?
we're finishing. Yes. No problem. So where was
You should.
the benefits of
Of the business plan.
yes. Because this SCORE used to stand for Service Corps Retired Executives. It's comprised of experts that are donating of their clients, and they come from different industries. Like I remember one of them back when I started, he would show up to counsel clients in a Rolls Royce. And the reason for that is that obviously he had money, but he had over 12 patents under his name. One of those patents was the original patent for the contact lens. So this guy was absolutely loyal. But he wanted to know that you've done some homework ahead of time because he was donated of his time, but he doesn't want to waste his time, even though it was free advice. So, but the bottom line is putting a business plan together will affect your bottom line, and keep that in. So we have a similar saying that most of the clients don't plan to fail; they just fail to plan. And so keep that. And I think we're gonna end there because I'm gonna get scolded if I keep going. But you're all gonna get a copy of the presentation. We're almost done with the business plan part of it, and then there's a pitch side to this as well. But definitely the presentation, if I don't give that part of the presentation for the pitch, it's not going to make a lot of sense. But we have somebody that's giving a presentation on developing a business pitch, and he's much better at it.
Where would we get the copy of it?
I think it'll be available to you through the app. If not, let the incubator folks here know, and they'll. I already sent them a copy of this PDF, so they got it. Okay. Well, see you. Sorry that all great investors. You all know a lot. No way. But if any of you have any questions, let me know. I'll be around, and I'll definitely be around a little bit until somebody comes in, kick me out this round. So
your office is here? We're good neighbors.
yes, in the mornings I'm in the Brussels Chamber of Commerce, which is like a block and a half away, and then in the afternoons I'm here. Tuesdays I'm in the Harlingen BTC, and then sometimes I am in Edinburgh, and sometimes yeah, that number that was on the 665-7535. All you need to do is let me go to the very end. We'll show you how many slides. Whoa! There you go. So you can email our main office if you want to set up an appointment. Definitely call us. And this is our website. I would highly encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. Our newsletter will let you know of all trainings that are available, which is about almost 30 a month, and you can register for free online. If you register every beginning of the month, you'll get that newsletter with a featured client that we help, but also our training account.
And this one is the SBDC.
Yes, the next session here is gonna be SDA, business administration, a deal and then let's talk about some
Thank you all, everyone, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Bye.
Don't this.